Here come the boys. Y'all ready to go swimming, baby? Come on. Give it up. Get out of that water. I tried telling y'all, it's swim lessons, baby.
Well, if you're playing the game of baseball and you go 3 of 4, it's a pretty good day. And unfortunately, we hit a little bump in the road, if you will, in Chicago. Rained out. And unfortunately, we weren't able to see the Bears practice today because of rain, weather. Funny thing was, it wasn't raining. We had our tickets. We were standing there. All the employees started coming out and said it's canceled. Checked online, and it was official.
Yeah.
It was done. Thoughts, Jody?
Well, I mean, we're up the road here, all of an hour and a half away in Milwaukee. And, I mean, they're off the lake up here. They get some clouds. So,
It's unfortunate because we're really looking forward to watching Caleb Williams, Roman Dunze, your guy for the Tibian Sharks, DJ Moore, and a couple other players. And
lifelong. He's got a lifelong contract.
But before we get to that, we got to talk a little bit about day 2 from Kansas City.
Yeah.
Because we watched practice from St. Joseph's, and it was one of those days where I really enjoyed it because rather than sitting with all the autograph seekers, we actually took a seat back, went up the hill, and got to see a lot of team.
Yeah, we got to watch. I mean, they did a very extended team session, just running through ones and twos, and offense struggled.
No,
the O-line, I know there's no shoulder pads. I mean, everybody's built to be an All-American, as our high school coaches would say, T-shirt All-American. Just so everywhere you looked, you got guys just being dicks on the D-line, which is what you need. But I don't know. We saw quite a few drops over those 2 days from Xavier Worthy. The offense just runs crossers to death. And then hopes Mahomes just scrambles out of it.
Before we talk more about Chiefs Day 2 and Chicago Day 1, we got to thank our sponsors today. Number 1, PSP Network. It's in the game. PSP Networks have been promoting local student athletes for a very long time. They're gearing up for football season in the great state of North Dakota. Check out their schedule events on their website. That's psp.network. Make sure to subscribe to their YouTube page. That's at PSP Network. There you get all the football games for free. They're going to even have some volleyball games as well. So really looking forward to PSP Network this upcoming fall. A lot of greatness coming. Nick Holberg and the team have been working hard. I myself, along with a few other talent, are looking forward to getting back into the booth. Next up is Glasso Angus. They're a proud sponsor of Swim Lessons, the podcast. They are your premier source for registered Black Angus cattle since 1973. Glasso Angus cattle showcase dominance, durability, and docility, and they're built to thrive on the northern plains. Check them out. That's Glasso, Glasoe, Angus.com. And hey, Jerry, we know we love a good hamburger. We just ate in Chicago and Kansas City, 2 great eat cities. Well, if you're ever in Willis, North Dakota, you got to go to another eat place, and it's River's Edge Bar and Grill. They're known for offering the best happy hour in town, providing unbeatable deals in a lively atmosphere. Guests can also enjoy a variety of entertaining activities, including bingo, trivia, and the very popular Name That Tune. Come on down to River's Edge for great drinks, great food, and great fun. All right, on to Day 2 for the Kansas City Chiefs. We got up mighty early because it was quarterback signing day, so each day at these camps, well, specifically Kansas City, they have a designated group. So the first day we went, all the linebackers signed autographs. The second day, quarterbacks, and was it specialists that signed?
I'm not sure if they were supposed to, but those dudes were yelling at the punter Areza.
Yeah, they were
broing down with Areza pretty hard.
So there was a ton of people there. My cousin Jaden, who's along for the ride, he went and bared it down. He went and got front row. We got in there very early. Jaden took his chair. He went down front row to try to get a Patrick Mahomes, Gardner Minshew autograph. He ended up with a Rashee Rice autograph, which is pretty damn sweet, I will say. Almost got Xavier's, but he was with the masses. You and I went up the hill, and I enjoyed that part of practice for a couple reasons. You got to see Andy Reid actually orchestrate it and Matt Nagy wasn't calling the plays. It was all Andy Reid. And we could hear clear as day, I don't know how, but Patrick Mahomes screaming and yelling and talking to the players. I mean, that was one of the coolest things.
Oh, yeah, we're right there. You can hear them, see everything they're doing, yelling like that. That is really cool. Just getting to see him go through his cadence.
Yeah.
You got a front row seat to him doing this little thing. That drives me nuts. I don't know why that riles me up so bad, but he does it every play. Just,
Come on.
it's a sassy little bitch hand thing. I don't like it. Respectfully. Sorry.
There was a guy that Patrick was really talking to, Elijah Badger from Florida.
Yeah.
First-year kid, wide receiver, and Patrick was talking to him a lot and often. So that could be a kid that we could see make the roster. Not only make the roster, he was making play after play. But when one of the greatest quarterbacks in the league is talking to you like that, he knows you got something in there.
Well, it's not a bad sign.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, he definitely made some plays. Him and number 30 looked really good for him. I think 30 is going to be a nice change of pace. You can never have enough running backs.
Right.
It's like baseball. You can never have enough pitchers. Somebody's going down at some point.
But you mentioned it early on. They were really, really, really working on the offensive line, and not just the ones, not just like your Creed Humphreys and Trey Smiths. They were working on the 2s and the 3s a lot. They're trying to find that solid rotation. They're trying to figure out who their solid group of 5 guys is going to be. You know you have the center spot figured out with Creed Humphrey.
Yep.
You know you have the guard spot, one of them figured out with Trey Smith. But the rest are kind of up for grabs.
I think Kingsley looked great moving into guard. I think the interior is pretty short up. I think he'll thrive there. He's a big, wide man. Simmons and Moore, both. I mean, Simmons obviously a rookie. He missed a lot of time last year. He I thought we were getting axed.
By the way, we are currently filming this at oh my god, I thought my career was over right there. If you're watching on YouTube, you saw it, but if you're listening, we are live at American Family Field here.
All right.
I did too. We're at where
dude, I thought that camera was gone. This is just like the bike ride from yesterday.
We'll get to that, but we are where the Brewers play their baseball games at Miller Park, and we set up not really knowing what to expect.
American Family Field, buddy.
I thought it was over there. I thought we were going to get arrested. I thought it was over.
You come back and finish the challenge.
All right. There was a...
keep with the Chiefs. We can get to
Okay,
that.
let's finish up here with Kansas City.
What was I saying?
The D tackle with the spin zone of the year with the one-on-ones. The one-on-ones were right in front of us where they were doing the defensive line versus offensive line, number 94. Fantastic play. And then we saw Mike Dana, who, if you want to watch a guy that's going to get some time and going to get a lot of action for the Kansas City Chiefs, the defensive line, Mike Dana looked good.
Mike Dana definitely did. He was, when they were doing the one-on-ones, which is really cool to see, you know, I'm a big Senior Bowl guy. That's my favorite thing to watch is those guys get after it, which they're a little more aggressive with the pads and everything. But Dana definitely was favoring that inside move in the O-line back in the day. Like, you prick, but you can't let him cross your face.
Right.
And he was getting after it. Guyette did that a couple times. So, I don't know. Dana, big guy for him, Michigan guy. They need him to succeed. They only got 8 sacks from Karlaftis and 7 from the rest of their D-line, so they definitely need somebody to step up. I think Omar, Norman Lott, and Guyette have every opportunity to be in that rotation.
And Isaiah Pacheco was trending yesterday and the day before when we were out there talking about his ferocious running style on routes.
Yeah.
I mean, he's going wild. And then we had the Rashee Rice. We posted it on Twitter. It went viral, actually. That was kind of a nice sign here for the tours as we've had some downtimes here in the tour. But Rashee Rice had a beautiful Jerry Rice-style left-handed one-hand grab in team, which was very nice to see. But overall, St. Joseph's, it was very hot, and it was very sweaty, and there was a lot of people everywhere.
Yeah.
And it was a great time. I had a great time. How about you?
It was a good time. It was an experience. I mean, clearly Chicago is the opposite.
Oh, my God.
But, you know, I think that's the difference of we've been to 5 Super Bowls versus what's a Super Bowl?
Yeah. So that brings us to what happened next. We got in the car after the Chiefs practice ended around noon and got some Chick-fil-A, and then we hit the 7-hour drive up to Chicago. And that was interesting because literally we got about, I don't know, I would say 4 hours outside of where we were staying in Chicago, right by Halas Hall, where the Bears training facility is. Yeah. And traffic hit us like the fridge hitting Joe Montana back in the day. Like that was terrible. I went to sleep that night just hearing the blinker sound because I was changing lanes so much.
Yeah, you were a little rattled. Stadium noise was
Stadium
loud
noise
for
was
the
not
car.
good. I did not handle that well.
Everybody was fighting their own personal battles.
We were all
yesterday.
in that car, the Santa Fe, just fighting for our lives. But hey, we got there. Went and got a nice elk burger from that place. It was very expensive where we at. We had 3 meals for 150
good
bucks.
dogs.
Good dogs.
Good dogs.
No, no free shout out to Good Dogs on the 3 burgers for 150 bucks. That was a fun experience.
And a very, very just helpful waiter was just so happy to be there.
Was not happy. So
Yeah.
then we got up the next
Not
day.
a fan of the program.
We got up the next day, and neither of us had really been to Chicago. Jaden, who's alongside doing social media, had been here a few times. Jerry, you and I have not been here to Chicago.
Never been here.
So we hit the pavement. We left at about 7:30 in the morning. We went down to the pier, which was very cool. Went to the United Center.
Yep.
That was probably my favorite part of the day. United Center is a beautiful place. Saw the Michael Jordan Museum, which was friggin-tastic. The ambiance when you walk in there.
Yeah.
And you just see that people, and there was lines of people waiting to take pictures. That's what's crazy.
Yeah. They have to have people there full time just because that many people go to see that statue.
That statue.
Yeah.
And then
it's
people
insane.
waiting outside of the gift shop that opened up at 11 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
Like just,
Yeah.
we had to go through a metal detector to get to the statue.
And then forgot to grab our stuff after.
I didn't. You did. I was like, Jordy,
Keep
Jaden,
your
you
head on
guys
a
want your
swivel, boys."
wallets and phones? Oh, yeah. The security guy's
yeah.
like, man, you better go. This is Chicago, baby. That stuff be gone real quick. So we saw the Michael Jordan, and then we went back downtown Chicago. And when we were in the Uber, that guy was like, he had an American flag on his dashboard. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh man, that's awesome. That's really cool. And we started talking about the United States, and he goes, love it or leave it, love it or leave it. And I'm like, yeah, I'm with you. And then he goes, I shouldn't show you this, but I'll show you. And he whips out his wallet, and he had a military ID with
So he was
about
like
this.
a military contractor. So he was a GS-12, which is a very like high rating, which is what they give to like contractors and supervisor roles. Like you're not necessarily like managing, because the national parks had the same system. So it's not like you're managing the park, but you are a supervisor level within the park. So you're making good money.
Yeah.
He was a good dude, really cool dude, traveled the world, had some cool stories. Very, very nice guy. Our only Lyft driver that spoke
Any English.
or was willing to deal with us.
And then we got another Uber, and Jaden, who's filming social media, he's pretty helpful about asking people, hey, is it okay if we film in here? And the only way we could talk to this guy was through Venezuelan baseball players.
Carlos Gonzalez,
So
baby.
right away, he walks up to you and he goes, Shohei Ohtani. And he's not
See.
Venezuelan, then you go, see. And then we're in the car, and you could tell this guy couldn't speak any English.
Yeah.
And you and I are in the backseat, Jaden sitting shotgun, and I look at him and I go, Panocha, and I pointed to you, and he laughed like for 10 minutes.
Oh, we were all howling. It's so funny how it's a universal language.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And then I went, Johan Santana, and he goes, yeah, see. He was a good dude. But that's
Very
when
good
Jaden, who looked at him, and he goes, hey, is it okay if I film in here? And you go, Jaden, he doesn't speak English. He's not deaf.
That was high about
that was not good. So
he didn't even like look over, didn't flinch, didn't even
acknowledge Jaden.
I think he was probably like,
Oh,
unbelievable.
I need to go back to Target or something.
I need to go home.
We took some recommendations. We went to Cindy's Bar, which was
Yeah.
not cool for me. I'm petrified of heights. And you take this elevator.
Unbelievable,
It was
dude.
unbelievable view though. And we were right above the bean, right above the shore there. It was
They have
really cool.
like kind of an art district,
Yeah.
I guess, because they had these giant brick towers with paints on them that had like water splashing down on them, and the bean. They had a giant like metal sculpture, looked like cans, but it all is right in front of the waterfront in Lake Michigan, and that is just so. Being from the most landlocked state in the Union, my goodness.
Well, how about when we were driving around and we would go under the city all around, and you and I and Jaden too, we couldn't stop looking at all the buildings, all the people.
Yeah.
It was insane, man. Chicago's an insane city.
Oh, just unbelievable. The waterfront was really cool. I'm glad we went down there. Soldier Field, I said it a million times yesterday. I understand.
What are they doing? This is a good one because
So
what are
they're
they
the
doing?
smallest stadium in the NFL
Yeah.
because there's only so much area for them to have with the old architecture. Like, it looks like they just cut out a giant old bank or old building, but they're the smallest in terms of how many people they can put in there. So they just want something bigger, and there's nowhere for them to expand, which I
Right.
get. But the history of that place, there's got to be a way.
Yeah.
There's got to be a way. If Texas A&M can keep just lopping on another level on their field, you guys can figure it out.
What I get it with the parking, I really do, but that place was so sick. Like,
Oh, and I mean, it's
Soldier
set
Field
up
was
the
amazing.
observatory, the aquarium. You have the museum right there.
you're right off the
You have
shore.
the docks, the piers. I mean, it's just a perfect
Even
spot.
when we were walking to the gift shop and we saw like those really cool fountains on the side, because you like walk down underneath Soldier Field to go to the gift shop, and the sound of the water with like all the commemorative, National Guard, the Navy, the Army.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Yeah,
And the fact that
was
they're going to
very-
tear that down.
And they have the little memorial thing
Yeah.
right before. It's very sobering. And like I said it when we were walking, I was like, man, if they really brought people here and made that a part of their culture, like the men and women who've sacrificed for this country and actually, made that a part of their identity and who they are, like their field has, their culture would probably be fixed real quick.
Yeah.
Because in Chicago, I'll tell you this, it's not a problem with talent. It's a problem with culture.
Yeah.
You're chasing things and then you get rid of people. The Raiders do the same thing. It doesn't work out, so then you bring in the next guy, and then they're the off-season champions. 100 years in a row, off-season champions. It just doesn't work like that. You got to believe, and you got to let these guys grow. I do think Ben Johnson is a good hire. Built a hell of a thing up there. They have the #1 scoring offense in Detroit. He'll bring that over to Chicago. I think he'll get fingernails going.
Referring to Caleb Williams.
Yeah.
Referring to Caleb Williams.
We did have a little bit of an instance I'd like to get into on the waterfront.
Go ahead.
We were walking. There was a little scuttlebutt. You really can't get a lift. You have to go back to the original spot by Soldier Field. So we're walking, and we eventually got in one of those like bike carts. And this dude is whipping in and out of traffic.
He made my day.
That was insane.
He made my day.
We were like that far. Like, he was as close to just scraping all these cars.
Oh.
I don't think he was supposed to be doing that.
No. Well, it all started with Jaden because he was wearing sandals and he didn't want to walk very far, which I get because we had walked a long ways. It was like 4 miles at least. And he goes, we were on a main road, so we could not get an Uber or a Lyft. So this guy on a bike with 2 seats on the back facing each other is like, you want to ride?
Yeah.
And we're like, how much? He's like, where are you going? And we were going to Gibson's where they filmed The League, which was a huge swing and a miss.
Oh,
Gibson's
man.
bar.
I looked it up, and they used the restaurant for exterior shots, but the bar that they use in the show is a set.
Yeah.
And that's very disappointing. I really I was messaging the league. We were all on top of it. We were all, in favor. I thought I was getting some, in the eyes of the fantasy gods, I thought I was building up some good karma. And then I walk inside. I'm like, none of this looks familiar. Is
No.
there like a bar somewhere else? And she goes, this isn't where the show was filmed. The owners wouldn't allow it. So they just used the exterior. And I was like, oh, man, we walked so far.
We
and
walked
took
so
that ride
far
just
to
for
get here.
this. But then we rallied. We had a few
rallied.
beers. Where'd we go after that? We went to Cindy's after that, and then we went to the game, and that was really cool. The White Sox have a very cool stadium.
The subway system in Chicago was not built for 3 guys that don't know what they're doing. Thank God for the guy that literally looked at me and goes, hey, man, this is my hustle. I gave him $10, and he literally told us what route to take, what ticket to buy. He was very nice, very generous. Shout out to him. He'll never hear this.
That's pretty
It was
easy to get from where we were to the game. That was kind of brilliant.
He was
$5,
awesome.
you hop on, just get on the red line, gets off. It literally says 35th in Sox, and you're like, oh, hell, easy.
We get off the subway, and we're going to White Sox Cubs for opening game of this crosstown rival series. White Sox, second worst team in the league. The Cubs, one of the better teams in Major League Baseball right now. Cubs are starting a pitcher that's pitched phenomenally well.
Yeah.
White Sox.
Shoto Iminaga.
He was and he's coming in. I think he was 7-2 so far.
Yeah.
Pretty good ERA. But we get off the subway and we're walking in, and you go, wow, look at the tailgate party. And the tailgate party was like before a college football game or an NFL football game. Like cars backed up, people outside barbecuing, cooking.
Like,
that was
that's so
awesome.
Chicago.
That was awesome.
That's a Chicago experience. Those
Yeah.
people are just looking for things to do. That's awesome.
And then we went to our seats, and that was great. I thought we were getting shut down again. That was great because we had good seats. We're about 23 rows behind home plate. We bought them a long time ago. They're about $120 each, but phenomenal seats. Second pitch of the game, the hitter for the White Sox hits a home run bomb.
Of the bottom of the first.
Bottom of the first.
Yeah. Well, so he brushed him inside. He threw him inside hard.
Yeah.
And the guy kind of went like this. And next pitch, gone.
Yeah.
That was really nice. And they just never looked back.
No.
I think they scored 5 in the first, which I, at the time, was pretty thrilled because I needed a little extra. I needed these innings to go long.
Let's talk about that. Jordy was doing the 7 dogs in 7 innings and 7 beers as well.
Mm-hmm.
It started off great. You had 3 hot dogs in the first inning. Very impressive. Very impressive. You had a rather large amount of ketchup also to go with these dogs.
Well, I did.
And then you hit a little bit of a stoppage.
I would rather have what I needed to have than walk back. Let's just throw that out there. And let's just preface this. There's a man in my fantasy league, Joey Raznick, who deserves his flowers, all the credit in the world. This man's an animal. He got last, and his punishment this year, he had to eat 70.5 hot dogs to match up with
Joey Chestnut.
And he had a week to do it. And right now, I think he's got 3 days left, and he's sitting at 50. He's an animal. He's been double dogging it for 4 days in a row.
Weren't you saying his wife quit talking to him because of this?
I call him right before the challenge because I was like, Joe, and at no point yesterday did I even think about doing this till we got to the game, and we were there pretty early. We got in at like 5:30, and they didn't throw a first pitch till 6:30. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do this for Joe. And I called him and I was like, buddy, do you want me to wait for the first pitch? Like, you got any tips? And he goes, this isn't going to bring out the best of you. And he was right. We got 3 dogs and 2 beers down in the first inning. Like I said, we didn't plan for this. So we'd been drinking, eating all day. And whoo.
That's a harsh last in fantasy football. That's very harsh.
Yeah, he could have just walked in our parade for Oregon Trail Days back home, dressed in full football, and showed up at the romp and had a beer with the boys, played some touch tunes, and
I'd
we would have been all
that.
good. Well, no shit.
Our guy last.
This man is not flinching. If I told him today, like, Joey, 50's okay, you know what he'd do? He'd hammer down the next 20 and say, no, it's not. That's the kind of man we should all aspire to be because he's insane.
He's got how many left?
20
dogs
in 3 days. And I hope he eats 19 over the next 2. And that last one, he just just gourmet dogs it.
But you said you don't have to eat them just dog style. You could throw them in macaroni and cheese. You could do whatever.
But he hasn't.
I know. That's why he's insane.
Yeah, I was like, Joe, I'll leave the buns up to you because the whole league just keeps messaging. You have to shut down the buns, Joey. Just eat the dogs. and he just goes, okay. And then he'll send a video of him just still with the buns and just ketchup mustard. He started with brats, and then he's been double dogging it ever since. He's a legend. He's a champion. I tried the 7, 7, and 7. The crowd, I was reading the room. They were not fans of us. I was obviously not an asset after 7 beers. I took the last beer and hot dog. I went and saw the Mark Burley statue.
And you met the Pope?
Yeah, I met the Pope. There was a guy dressed as the Pope, and he goes, I bless you, my child. And I was like, I didn't know I needed that. But I did. I thought I was going to throw up. I was full. And at that moment, I knew I was going to be okay. I had the last bite of the hot dog. And I, using the facilities. And I was like, I am not taking this in there. And I can't eat anymore. So we were 1 bite away. And in the battle of man versus food.
Jaden, do you have your phone on you? Can you play that? Can you bring your phone over here? And I'm going to play that video of your number 1 fan that was sitting behind us, this Mexican guy.
The people behind us, I think, were getting more from us than
Thanks,
the game. Jade. It was an ass whooping. The White Sox, I think, won 13-5 or something.
Okay,
12-5.
And this will be on the video log that we're gonna.
This guy was cheering me on the whole time. The lady beside him was not a fan.
Okay, here is the gentleman behind us talking to Jordy after he left with half a dog to go.
Suck, and you fucking suck ass.
They called me on the phone.
Thanks, Jade.
They're like, "Are you coming back?" And he grabbed the phone. He goes, "You get your ass back here!"
And you finish this competition.
He kept yelling, "You finished the competition!" And I like, he gives them the phone back, and they're like, "You coming back?" And I go, "No, I'm not going back into that."
It was a great game. I got to say, I had my hesitations about going to a White Sox game.
The Bulls jerseys.
The Bulls jerseys.
The
that came
idea
out in.
I get when you see it online, you're like, they're just ripping off the Bulls. Like they're having a shitty year. They just set the record for the worst season of all time. And they're like, we need to get any sales we can. They look good in person.
Yeah.
And I will say, I wore my Colorado Rockies jersey yesterday, and I was just getting rizzed and razzed by people left and right.
Oh,
And
how about when you were walking
what are you
in?
doing here? And I'm like, I just wanted to see slightly better baseball.
When we were walking into the game, you forgot some of your pockets, so you were getting razzed. And then Jaden and I went past the guy who was just scanning tickets. And as we're walking by, Jaden goes, "Give that guy some shit," because he's a Rockies fan. The guy goes, "I got you." So he walks in and he's got this ticket scanner baton thing. And he goes, "Hey, man, stop. You stop." He goes, "Spread him." He spreads his legs. He took the ticket baton and went in between your legs and everything. He's like, "All right, you're good." And as you walk by, you go, "Wait, was that just a ticket scanner?"
Yeah, I was just like, "Hey, man, whatever you need." And I went, "Wait, what the fuck?"
What is going on here?
Yeah.
But it was a great game. White Sox won, 13-5, I think.
Something like that.
They trounced them. Cubs fans that were sitting by not happy. White Sox fans all around us very happy. All in all, I would give that a rating out of 10, 7. You?
I'd say 7.5. I was quietly surprised with it.
It was
I would
fun.
recommend it. We met some people who've been going to a lot of ballparks. They had a lot of things to say. I think that was a very cool setup. Right off the subway, there's a bar attached. You can walk right out. Like, it's very easy to consume that experience. So I was very happy with that. And about hot dog number 6, beer number 5, I started just telling everybody every time anything happened, "I'm your good luck charm, Chicago." And the guy behind us just kept going, "They're both from Chicago."
And I've noticed something about you that there's something about you, buddy. And you know I love you. You're one of my best friends. But everything we've went to, I've gotten maybe 10 words to you, and the gentleman or whoever's sitting next to you, you've talked to the whole time. Again, I thought you were going home with the guy who was the ex-cop.
That guy was awesome.
Tell us about this cat.
So he was sitting in front of us, and then they didn't have tickets. They just snuck up there. And so they were sitting in front of us. I come back, and they're sitting beside me, and I'm like, all right. So I'm like, "So what'd you used to do?" He goes, "I was a cop for 30 years in this town. Everybody here is a piece of shit."
Oh my God.
I was like, "What?" He goes, "They came out with those South Side uniforms. You want to know who's a piece of shit? Look at that." And I
wasn't a
just
fan.
like, "Oh my God."
He was
And
a
then
co-
the guy next to him's like, "Best arm I ever saw was Artie Ridikowski. Could stand at home plate and throw it to center field, over the fence, 10 foot tall. Unbelievable player."
Unbelievable.
I was like, what a back and forth that was. It had nothing to do with what he just said. Good people, though. I enjoyed them. Then they left and got kicked out for the fucking Olsen Mormons. That
And they
sucked.
kicked over 4 of your hot dogs.
Okay, back to the hot dogs. I come back and I look at Dallas, and my beer is like kind of moved back underneath my seat, and I go, "Well, where are my hot dogs?" And they have been kicked under the seat in front of me. And like the buns stayed in the little carrier thing, but those last 2 dogs, I'm either patient zero or a superhero now.
You're going to just be able to fly now that you ate a hot dog off the ground at Spider-Man.
Good thing I've got eligibility left.
All in all, leaving the ballpark, it was pretty treacherous. No way to get a lift. So we sat at a bar for a little bit, and then we started walking.
She was not a fan.
And that was, we kind of got after each other's throats there a little bit in the lift.
Like I said,
Kind of a drought in the tour, if you will.
the
the deep
words of
dive.
Joey rang true. It's not going to bring out the best of you. I snapped at you, and I'd like to, in front of our audience here, I'd like to apologize.
It's all good.
That was not my finest
I think
hour.
we both we're moving past that. We're now on to Green Bay. But Jody, let's actually talk about. I've got some notes here from what we learned or what we saw from people and talking to people around the city of Chicago about this beloved Bears team. First off, getting tickets to a Bears training camp is one of the toughest things you will ever do. I, myself, and Kristen, my girlfriend, logged in. They went on sale July 9th. We logged in. They go on sale at 9 a.m. We were online at 7. There was 1,400 people in front of us in the queue. Sold out.
Yeah. Okay,
all right. Well, I already bought these tickets to the White Sox-Cubs game. We're still going to go to Chicago. It'll be fun. Oh, wait, they're going to go on sale again. Okay, sweet. So we got a chance for the next day.
Yeah.
Sold out in literally 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Yesterday, we're on Facebook Marketplace. We see, okay, we missed the first day of practice. Maybe we can catch literally today. Miss Facebook Marketplace. The guy goes, "All set." These are free tickets, by the way. They're free. Probably part of the problem. But This guy goes, "I'll sell you the tickets, 2 of them for $100. Me being very naive and wanting this to happen very badly because we're on this big tour, I said, okay. I cash app him $100. I say, you got to send them through Ticketmaster, and he sends the tickets. So I'm thinking, wow.
Oh, I thought for sure you got fleeced.
Shout out to cousin Jaden for helping us out. He found them. I thought we were getting fleeced. I'm like, it's just $100, whatever. So anyways, we get the tickets. You and I get up early this morning, 6:30 a.m. We want to be there. Practice starts at 8:30.
Yeah.
We get there, and I'm like, what? Where's all the parking? There's nobody here. By the way, Halas Hall, very, very like far away place. Like you can't even see the practice field. There's so many trees, so many hills. You can't even see anything. Nowhere to park. No cars around. So we park. I'm like, maybe we're just early because it feels like the Bears want this to be very private. And I'm not sure if it's because a new coach, Caleb Williams, they don't want anybody there. That's even when we drove by when we didn't have tickets, nobody was in line the whole time. There was nobody there.
Well, and I think they were shuttling people in from so many other places.
But even like Kansas City, you could see the line was deep.
But there is a difference where I think they want their experience to be very insular and not as many people. So those little things they set up, like each person can maybe have more of a personal experience versus over flooding it. So I don't know. I can see why they would want to do that. I mean, they're already getting blown the hell up on the radio coming in.
Oh,
and
the radio
Twitter,
people are pissed.
The guy on the radio goes, "You know who looks terrible? Caleb Williams."
Let's talk about that. Okay, here we go. Here's some notes from Bears Wire. Shout out to Bears Wire. They go, quarterback Caleb Williams in the starting offense has notably struggled through the first 3 practices of training camp, which has prompted some premature concern in the fan base. Friday's practice got off to a rough start for the offense.
Shocking.
During 11-on-11, where Williams had to deal with pressure from defensive end Montez Sweat, who, by the way, is a stud, forcing multiple incompletions. Later in practice, Williams threw back-to-back interceptions during 7-on-7 work, which included a tip pass on a ball intended for DJ Moore, your guy, and intercepted by Waquan Brisker, and a bad throw by Williams that was picked off by TJ Edwards, excuse me. Yep. So it sounds like there's a little bad chemistry right now, and we're 3 days into this thing, so I'm sure he'll pick it up. But first-year head coach, Caleb Williams, second year in the league, brand new wide receivers, Rome and Dunze. I'm a big fan, big believer in Rome.
Yeah.
But they are off to what sounds like horrific start.
Well, for me, it all starts up front. They brought in Tooney. They brought in Dahlman. They've made the investments. They aren't afraid to invest in their team. But great O-lines aren't born overnight. You don't really see the best O-lines in the NFL be bought. They aren't off-season champions. They aren't whoever spent the most. It's guys who've been in the trenches together. They know what they're doing. They play off each other. They mesh well. I think they'll get there. They have some good guys. Darnell's pretty good.
Yeah.
He's a good ball player. I think the Tooney, he's a veteran. He'll get him there. I think it's one of those things they're in a transitional period to getting better on the O-line. But if they can't get better, nothing will get better. You have a guy back there that you invested heavily in. He has all the tools, all the wide receivers. But if you can't protect him, he can't do anything because you're going to turn him into this gun-shy man just running around for his life, and that you're never going to get above a 500 team if you're doing that.
Oh, I'm with you.
He has all the talent in the world. He throws a hell of a ball. How are we doing, sir?
Got some donuts to go
dude,
here.
I thought that was Craig Counsell for a second.
Who's
he was the manager here. He's the Cubs manager.
We got
now.
to talk about James Jones. We saw James Jones in downtown Chicago last night.
No, we didn't.
Yes, we did.
Dal,
That
guy
was
wasn't
James
6'8".
Jones.
The guy wasn't 6'8".
That was James Jones, former great NBA player, and he was the GM for the Suns, just got fired. That was James Jones. I will die on the James Jones hill.
He looked remarkably similar.
Anyways, I will say this. Bears Wire did happen to say, but Williams did have some completions to Romam Dunze and Komet. They ended, it sounds like the red zone went okay. They did a 2-minute drill in the they went 2 of 5 with a touchdown to Rome and a touchdown to Komet. So there's some hope there with the Bears offense, but the thing with the Chicago Bears, okay, this is their schedule. Listen to this. They kick off Monday Night Football against the Minnesota Football Vikings, which is going to be tough. That's a tough game. Then you go to Detroit. Okay? Then the Cowboys come to Chicago, which that's not that's a kind of a tough game. Then they play the Raiders, and then you're at the Commanders. So the first 5 games, I can see them going at least 1-4.
That Commanders game last year, I wish I could. There was a thing on Twitter the other day. It's like, which sporting event do you wish you could rewatch for the first time? And that Hail Mary where the dude is like chirping the guy in the crowd against the Commanders when they went on to lose like 11 in a row, that was poetry.
That was
as funny of a damn thing as I've ever seen. That's the most Chicago shit. You got to get Caleb Williams on schedule and playing within an offense. Aaron Rodgers did the same thing. I mean, we saw it his whole college career with Caleb. He can do anything, and that's the problem. Sometimes this game, you don't need to do everything. When Aaron Rodgers had back-to-back MVP seasons, when LaFleur came in, they got back to basics. Simple, naked bootlegs out, hit the guy in the flat. Let players make plays. You don't have to be a superhero on every play. And if they get him to that point where he can do it selectively and save himself and not get killed, they might be okay. But then again, we might be 8 head coaches down in 2 years here in Chicago.
I want to believe in the Chicago Bears. I really do. Even though they totally screwed over the fan base with this training camp thing, I cannot get over how bad this was.
I really should have worn my cheese hat out. That would have been great.
That you should have. We're about an hour away from Lambeau. But I think in the NFC North with the Bears, with the Lions, with the Vikes, who am I missing? The Packers. This is one of the toughest divisions of football. I honestly think the NFC North is one of the toughest divisions of football. That and maybe the AFC West. I don't know.
Packers are the only one that's not really in a transitional phase.
Detroit's not in a transitional phase.
2 new coordinators. Lost pretty much their whole coaching staff.
That's true.
That is a big impact
That's
on
a good
culture.
point.
The players are still there, and they have the talent, but there's just going to be a slight shift in growing period. I think they will get it figured out. I would say they're still the king of the division right now. Green Bay's nipping at their heels, but you have 2 whole new coaching staff in Chicago. Minnesota's going to start JJ.
Yeah.
You just don't know what you're going to get there. They said he threw 4 picks in practice yesterday.
Yeah.
Justin Jefferson pulled a hammy. He's their whole life. If he's not there, they're not there.
So to get a little vibe from how this fan base in Chicago is treating the Bears right now and how they handle this training camp, here's what it says. Due to inclement weather, today's Bears camp practice viewing has been canceled. Tickets cannot be transferred to an alternate date. So we just got done talking about how hard it was to get seats. It's not raining. You're playing scared. That was one gentleman. One gentleman, this sucks, was looking forward to having the fans to be able to see and watch this team. That was a couple guys. And then one guy goes, inclement weather, ? It's football. Stop playing like this. And then this is my favorite clap back at this. I'm guessing there's a lot of intentional interceptions today taking place at practice. One guy, trash organization. I drove 5 hours here with my dad just to have you guys cancel because of a few clouds.
That one is hilarious.
That one I feel bad. I feel bad for that guy.
Yeah, I don't think it's how like the fans are treating the Bears. I think it's how the Bears have treated their fans for a long time.
And this guy goes.
And I don't think just generally, if you are a Bears fan, which I know a couple, your mentals, it's the same thing I go through as a Rockies fan, which even worse, but my goodness.
This one guy goes, wait, you have to buy a ticket to watch the Bears practice? If so, I have a bridge you might be interested in buying. So, all in all, the trip to Chicago, it was fun. I'm glad we had the White Sox Cubs. We got to experience that. That was phenomenal.
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to tomorrow Green Bay because it's first come, first serve. We don't have to deal with any of this. I wish the Bears would do that, because when you put these tickets online and they're free, you're going to, A, lose it to scalpers, and B, you're going to lose it to bots. They're just going to get bought up in 30 seconds. The true fan, the fan that's trying to do something like we're doing, going to 4 different ones, they're not going to have a chance. So Bears organization, do first come, first serve. But if you're trying to do something private like we think you are and you don't want anybody to see too much, because let's be honest, the Giants organization is feeling the heat because all their fans are taping all this and they're putting it out. Like the first ever pass thrown by, oh man, I'm having a brain fart. The guy they just drafted.
Jackson Dart.
He threw a pick six, first interception. Like this plays into social media now. Teams are thinking about, how is this going to affect a young quarterback? They are. No matter what you say, no matter how you say it, people, these organizations are thinking about, because then they get trashed on social media. And just us being at the Chiefs training camp, we put all that stuff on Instagram.
Yeah.
Dude, Rashee Rice, Isaiah Pacheco, the D-back, they all looked at it and liked our posts. So, like, they're watching this.
Yeah.
It's not that they're not watching. So when they make a bad play, they see that. They see the fans going, why did we draft this guy? Yeah. They see Caleb Williams getting made fun of for painting his fingernails. It's all bad. So if you can take some of that away and have a few practices where you and your team, that's probably what they're doing.
Yeah.
But that said, Green Bay tomorrow, 8:30 is when practice starts?
10:30.
10:30, but we're going to be there about 6, right?
Yeah, We'll get the pulse with the locals, see what we need to do.
Yeah.
They would know more than us.
The hotel we're staying at tonight,
They're good home people, you know. They know.
They know. I just want to give another shout out to all our sponsors that made this possible. I've been saving up for a long time. The hotel that we're staying at tonight for night 1 in Lambeau, I'll have to tell you the name tomorrow, but it's literally right beside Lambeau. And when we open up our window, we'll see Lambeau all night. You said already we're not sleeping with the drapes closed. The drapes will be open all night so we can fall asleep to Lambeau, which is going to be fun.
Yeah, you're going to have to peel me off the window like one of those sucker fish.
Sucker fish. That's a good way to end this. Dude, this has been fun to do it outside. The Brewers have a home game today. Shout out to them for not knowing that we're doing this, but for letting us do this. It was a close call right away. I thought that camera was going to get sideswiped by that John Deere side-by-side, but overall, Jordy, how was your trip to Chicago? I know we didn't get the Bears practice in, but it was still a good time.
Well, I would describe it like this. It's a marathon, not a sprint. If you're going to eat 7 hot dogs, drink 7 beers and 7 eggs, which you could do the 9, just takes a little planning. And a little understanding from the people around you, because you're going to get a little rowdy.
Yeah. Well, thanks, everybody. We appreciate you coming along for the ride. As for myself, Dallas Hansen, Lordy, it's got to be Jaden behind the mics and the cameras. We will see you from Lambeau. Thanks, everybody.